Hey folks, if you're hearing this, then I sincerely hope that you are both safe and well, because it doesn't take a genius to see that there is a lot of anger in the world right now. With the social and economic pressures placed on us by the global lockdown, as well as an ever more divisive mainstream media, it's almost as if people have been wound up like high-tension wires, and the slightest thing will cause us to snap at one another. That's why today I wanted to give you a message of encouragement, because when we see the circumstances that we are currently faced with, it's tempting to want to throw our hands up and just give up on the world. But I don't believe that to be the solution. And you might think I'm being naive or being overly optimistic, but I'm not. Because as a South African, I've seen the kind of unrest spreading across the West happen here for years. The riots that broke out and in some places are still continuing in the wake of George Floyd's death in Minneapolis, that kind of violence happens here 2 or 3 times every year. I'm not going to get into the political or racial underpinnings that have brought these events into being, because that's not what this video is for. What I want to focus on is the effect that that kind of violence can have on the average person's psyche. I consider myself fortunate to have friends all around the world, many of whom are experiencing this kind of violence and instability for the first time in their lives, because from a global perspective, Western nations have been among the most stable and prosperous that humankind has ever known. Now, however, that stability is in question, and many of you don't have any frame of reference for events like this, so you're unsure of what to do. I'm not claiming to have all the answers, and I certainly don't know where this is all going to end up, but one thing I want to tell you is that you must not give up on your fellow man. If you allow current events to harden your heart to the extent that you become cruel and unfeeling, it won't matter whether there is a modern society in which you can still live, because without caring and empathy for those around us, there's not much point to life anyway. This is the reason that I made the conscious choice to no longer engage in online debate about social issues. I'm not giving up the capacity for independent thought. In fact, having my own opinion and being able to articulately express it is one of the things I hold most dear and sacred in life. I simply choose not to argue with people about things that we fundamentally cannot change, and have found that in online arguments, when it's not face to face, you very seldom will actually end up with anything productive, and most often just end up insulting one another and feeding into the unhealthy anger that already exists. I, like everyone else, have a dark side, and I believe it would be both unhealthy and dangerous to deny that. But what I'm saying is that I've chosen that when people hear from me, I want to be a reason that their days are better not worse. I'm human, so I know that I won't always get that right. But the fact remains that genuine positive change doesn't come from large movements and social media hashtags. It starts with how we choose to treat each other at the level of individuals every day. So, in your daily life, when you encounter difficult situations and you are forced to choose between understanding or cruelty, get into the habit of choosing understanding, because good habits are a matter of routine just as much as the bad ones. And once you choose to think with empathy and rationality instead of unfocused anger, you'll be surprised at how much better the world around you will begin to look. For now, farewell.